Hello, I'm back and ready to take over the world. This is pretty good. Human, fetch me another. Where was I? Oh, yes, I'm full and ready to take over the earth.
Hey guys! Okay, so today we are going to be talking about 5 mistakes that fish keepers often make when starting a fish tank. And I know I am highly qualified to make this video since I have made all of those mistakes. Alright, let's get into the video. But wait, before we go, next week's video is going to be, well, next week's video is going to be a special video because I have a big surprise for you guys and I can't wait for you to see it. It's super cool and I'm so excited to show you. So if you want to see what it is, because it's a surprise, please make sure to subscribe so when that video comes out in a couple of weeks, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Alright, let's just get right into the video. Alright, so number 1 is that not all fish can go in the same tank. And that's one of the mistakes that I made when I first started out a tank, because I figured, like, they're fish, they can go in a tank. They're all fish, they should be fine. No, that's not how that works, Pastor Leah. The fact of the matter is, some fish are super aggressive towards other fish. For example, angelfish and neon tetras. I learned this at the pet store actually a couple of weeks ago. I was really interested in these angelfish, right? And I wanted to bring one home and set up a new tank for them. What I learned was that angelfish are semi-aggressive towards smaller tropical fish species. So, like neon tetras, it would have been really bad if I had put them in the same tank because neon tetras are actually angelfish food in not the wild, but like that's what they eat. Alright, our second rookie mistake that I know I made starting out was assuming that fish are cheap, because fish are not cheap, let me just tell you right there. The actual fish may be, but the tank setup is not. For example, you could get $10 in fish, but have to spend $50 on a tank setup for those $10 worth of fish, taking into account the tank setup you need. For example, if you have a $2 fish, but you need a 10-gallon setup, expect to spend probably $20 for the tank, and then I'd say probably $50 for everything else, including the rocks, decoration, filter, air pump, whatever you need for that. So yeah, you may have a $2 fish, but you're gonna end up spending $50 on $50 to $70 on the tank setup. That's $72 right there for your tiny little goldfish. Just something to think about. Okay, for our third rookie mistake is that fish are sometimes associated with this idea of being easy to care for. I don't know where the heck this thought originated, but it is not true. Not true, guys. Don't listen to them. Not true. Fish are very hard to care for, guys. Yeah, there are so many things that you have to remember when you're taking care of a fish. It's not just like get a fish bowl and sprinkle some goldfish food in there every day. No, you gotta get a tank, you gotta get lighting, you gotta get a filter, you gotta get an air pump, you gotta get decorations, and on top of that, you gotta clean it. So there is a lot of research going into your fish if you decide to get fish. Okay, so the next thing you have to think about when you get a fish tank is the filter doesn't do all the work, rookies. So the filter does, I'd say, about 50% of the work. The other 50% is left up to you. And remember, at the end of the day, that 50% is stuck in And the filter. You're gonna have to clean the filter. My gosh. Now, depending on what type of filter you have, it's gonna be easier or harder to clean. Basically, the bigger the tank, the bigger the filter, the bigger the gunk. So what I would recommend is definitely doing about 70% of the work for your tank. So I like to use a water siphoner to clean my tank. I touched on what water siphoners were and how they worked in my last video, so go check that out if you want to learn a little bit more about water siphoners. Yeah, basically that's what you need to remember. Remember to pull your weight. The filter does not do all the work. And remember at the end of the day that you still got to clean your flippin' filter. Just really got to stress that. Or else it doesn't work as well. Okay, let's talk about our fifth and final fish keeping mistake that rookies make. Now, that is the temperature of your tank and not realizing how important it is. A lot of different fish can handle a lot of different temperatures. For example, comet goldfish, which are super hardy fish, by the way. Oh my goodness. I had comet goldfish that got probably this big in size. They started out like this big. Oh, they were adorable. Anyway. So they can handle a temperature change, not a temperature change. Temperature changes are horrible for fish. They can handle a temperature range between 60 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, if you look at tropical fish, which are the fish I have now, they can handle temperatures ranging from 75 degrees to 80 degrees. Now, that's a little bit of a smaller window, but if you have a tank heater, you should be fine.
Now that I have a full belly of lettuce, I am ready to take over the world. Human, that feels pretty good. Little up, little up. Ah, there's the spot.
Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on that post notification bell so you can know exactly when I post a video. Speaking of posting videos, next week I'm going to be talking about different types of fish and if they're compatible with each other in a community tank. Again, thank you guys so much and I'll see you next week. Bye, fish friends!